everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Autumn Sullivan. I'm the marketing manager for Mobilization Funding. With me today is Scott Peper, the CEO of Mobilization Funding. Thanks for joining me, Scott.
Thanks, Autumn. Appreciate it. Always.
So I am obviously working from home due to COVID-19 and the lockdown. Scott is in the office still. And so where we usually work side by side all day, this is a kind of a different environment for us. And I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to interview Scott and share with you, our audience, some of the Mobilization Funding story. So we've talked about core values. We've talked about a little bit about, what is Mobilization Funding. And today I'd really like to talk about being purpose-driven. Ever since I started working with you, you have shared a lot about how we are a purpose-driven company and that our purpose is to help those we come in contact with. And I have worked for a lot of companies that have mission statements, a lot of companies that have core values, a lot of companies that have vision statements. I have never worked for a company that had a defined purpose statement. So could you, for those who may be unfamiliar with the term, tell me what it means to be purpose-driven?
Well, purpose-driven for me came out of actually something in my own personal journey. About 7, 8 years ago, I was working with a different company and I had a great role and it was a good job and I learned a ton and I'm super grateful for it. However, towards the end, the culture and the business itself, I started to become more aware of it. And we didn't have a purpose. We had mission statements on walls and there was people and we had great relationships amongst certain divisions and certain groups of sales but finance and HR, different departments might not have been as well aligned. And it was really, I never really understood why, but it was always there and I could feel it in the back of my head. Well, I've left that business and I was able to get into another company that did have a really good culture. And even the local culture in the group that I was in, which was just based in Tampa, Florida, that overall corporate culture resonated really well with the actual local group too. I recognized that difference and change, but I still hadn't been able to put my finger on it. My boss at the time, who was a leader there, had sent me to, or offered for me to go to this Human Performance Institute, which was in Orlando. And when I went there, it was really about a personal journey, this 2 or 3 day seminar that I was at. And it was really small groups and you go there to really not find yourself, but you go there to really figure it out and whatever that. And the first thing we do is you talk about having a purpose for your life. Like, what is your purpose? Like, what is it? What's your own mission statement, your own personal values? Like, what do you care about the most? And what is the reason that you get up, walk the earth? What is it? And it's not for everything. It can't be everything you do every day is part of your purpose. So they go through some great exercises of getting you to that point where you can really resonate and land on what is the most important thing to you. And for me, that exercise personally, when I landed on it, it made everything else more clear. And the next stage the next day, once you come up with your own purpose, is you start to realize all of the different things that you do each day that won't help you with your purpose. They're a waste of your energy. You've heard me talk many times about the difference between energy and time. It came out of me going to that Human Performance Institute where I replaced the word time for energy in just about everything I say and do. And it's because if you have a purpose, and again, this was personally, and you're doing things on a daily basis that aren't aligned to it, well, candidly, you should just not do it. Now, of course, there's things you have to do at certain points because you're aligned to a business or you have a job or a role. But at the end of the day, you don't need people in your life that are going to detract you from what your ultimate purpose is, particularly if they're harmful to you. And you don't need to do activities or give your energy to places that are also going to detract you from your purpose. And it was in that moment that I realized what I needed to do personally to make my own life better, more fulfilled, and really, truly be more happy. They do talk a lot about nutrition and exercise and faith and balance in those as well. Faith being whatever faith you are, just having some type of faith outside, some kind of spiritual health, wellness connection. But the reality is, coming to that conclusion of what your purpose was personally, helped me then understand from a business perspective, whether you work for another company or whether you have your own company and you're an entrepreneur, it's all the same. If you tie a purpose to everything else you do, then you're going to A, be more focused on it, B, spend your energy and your business resources to drive that purpose only. And you're going to therefore, because of those two things, have a much better chance of being successful, but you're also going to be on a better path. You're going to have a better opportunity, a more fulfilled opportunity, and more fun doing it.
You know, it's funny. I just wrote a note for energy because I feel like we could do a whole video on the difference between time and energy. That I remember when we published that newsletter, which if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, you should go do that right after this video, because Scott writes a personal letter to all of our newsletter subscribers every 2 weeks. And then we have our best content links at the time. But the letter at the top is what it's really all about. And you did the one on energy versus time. And it just really changed the way I approached work, right? Because I can talk about how long something takes to do, or I can talk about how much energy it's going to take to do it. And when I think of it in terms of energy, I can get excited about a task that might take 6 hours because it's going to actually leave me with more energy than it expended from me. It's a fulfilling task. And it really changes the way you approach your day. So I made a note that we're going to do that one next because that's a really good one.
Well, the other thing that ties into that is when you're doing things with a purpose and you're giving your energy to it, the harder it is of whatever you're doing, the better you feel when you're done, which also will make you happy. Doing easy things or doing something that, is half-assed, it doesn't make you feel good, but doing something hard and accomplishing it is when you feel your absolute best.
That's why people run marathons, right?
Yeah, which I don't want to do that. That's
I'm good with my 5K.
But yes, I assume that is part of it. And you know what? Training for that marathon is probably way worse and harder than actually doing the marathon, I bet.
Oh, I can't even imagine. So our purpose, our stated purpose, is to help those we come in contact with. And that purpose feels very intentional to me. And I assume there was a journey that you and leadership went through to get that printed on, I can see it behind you actually. How did you arrive at that purpose for mobilization funding?
In order to have and this is my opinion, in order to have a real business that's going to be meaningful and also impactful to not only the customers that you're trying to ultimately serve, but your team and your employees, and be a place that the whole business wants to come to and be excited. And Autumn, you and I have talked about this, and you've heard me say it a million times in our team meetings. We spend so much time at work, more so than sometimes you spend doing anything else in a given day. Mm. And if that time is not fun and not fulfilling and not enjoyable, it's going to make the rest of your time in that day annoying. And so my point in having this be purposeful is, I want this 8, 9, 10 hours, whatever time we spend together every day, to be fun in an environment that's fun, driven by something that's going to make us feel good and feel happy. So we're going to do hard things, but they're going to be accomplished and we're going to feel good about it. And in order to do that, you also have to be helping people and be grateful in your own heart and self. And if you can help someone, I mean, how better do you feel if you open the door for somebody? That's small. What if you really, really help someone to the point where they change their entire business, and because of what you did, your product, your service, your conversation, whatever it may be, just the mere interaction that they had with you helped them become more successful themselves. And then that helped their team become more successful, their family become more successful, them reach their goals. I mean, that's going to make you feel so good. Mm-hmm. And if you can tie your own company purpose to your ability to help those other people do something, then it was easy for me to all of a sudden say, you know what, we can come up with this complex line, we can make it super elaborate, and we can test all the words. But at the end of the day, you know what, if we just help anyone that we come in contact with, naturally, we're going to be helpful to them, and we're going to be helpful to ourselves, and it's going to make us feel good. And if we market our company in a way that people know what we do, we're probably going to get interactive with people that also might need our services. So we're not going to just walk around helping everybody off the ground that might be laying down or fell. I certainly want to do that if that happens. But in the business setting, people that are going to call or people that we're going to interact with are most likely going to come to us that probably have some type of need that we might be able to help them with internally. Mm-hmm. But if we don't, we want to help them answer their problems. So they need financing. We can't help everybody with financing. They're just not, we don't have the right loan program for everyone that comes to us. Matter of fact, we don't have the right loan program for most people that come to us. However, we can help them go to the trusted source that is the right solution for them. What if the person that came to us needed a loan for something we don't do.
Mhm.
And I said, well, we're just going to sit and talk, and then we're going to tell them about our program, and we're going to tell them it doesn't work, and then that's it. Like, everybody wasted their time. No, the goal was to help people. They come to us, they need a loan. We're not the right solution, but here's who is, here's how you can, here's why you can trust them. Here's what rapport that you can have with them. Here's the questions to ask. And by the way, I'm going to walk you straight into them. I'm going to make this introduction for you. You can take it up with them on your own. We don't get anything out of it other than the fact that we're helping you. And now you don't have to, you can sort through this noise of this, where do I go next and who can I trust world. But that's a great benefit to someone. And if it makes me feel good every time I can refer someone out. As a matter of fact, I feel just as good referring somebody to a colleague or someone we know that can help them in the finance world as I do sometimes when we make our own loans, because sometimes I know we can't help people with our loan. As a matter of fact, I know our loan will be a detriment to them sometimes, and sometimes it's perfect because of the way it works. Just like someone looking for our loan gets an SBA loan, it's not going to work for them. It's all relative. So we landed at, let's just help people that we come in contact with, because it's going to make us feel good. It's going to help them. It's going to make them feel good. And if we do the right marketing and speak about that and put what we do out in the world, we're probably going to integrate with a lot of people that do need something from us, or at least in the space where we can help them and have the knowledge.
The part about marketing brings up an interesting question. And I can envision people watching this video and thinking, my purpose is to make money, right? I'm a business owner, especially if I'm a small business construction contractor. My margins are thin. I've got to pay my team. My purpose is to make money. And can you talk about, why that's not necessarily the purpose, right? Because we still want to make money, right? That's still one of the goals.
Yeah, look, if you go into business and you say it's not about money and I don't want to make money, well, then you won't be in business long. And if your goal is to help people and you're not in business, then you're not going to help anybody. So yes, of course, every business needs to make money or you won't survive. But if your goal is to make money and you don't have anything else to offer anyone, you might be a nice flash in the pan and you might be able to help people quickly, but you're not going to sustain anything. You're not going to be sustainable. And certainly, if you're not helping people in the right way, or your product or your service or your loan program isn't helpful, then they're going to talk about that to everyone they know. If you think about your own personal experience, if something great happens to you, you're going to talk about it. Matter of fact, sometimes I just feel obligated. If someone does something nice for me, I'm feeling obligated to make sure that I return the favor one way or another. If you focus just on money, you're not going to get it. It's just not going to, you might get a little bit, it might come, but it's not going to last forever. And really making money as a business is something, of course, you should do. That's like saying you need to get up out of bed every day and you're supposed to eat. Of course. I mean, everyone knows you're supposed to make money unless you're a nonprofit, but even nonprofits make money. So it's all about tying to what you can do and how you can help people. And the secret is, if you really help everyone and you do all that really well, you're going to make a lot more money. You're going to make more money because people are going to like what you do and you're helping them. And you're not going to ever make money if you don't tie your product, service, program, loan program, whatever it is. If you don't tie it to helping people, you're not filling a void. Any business service has to fill a void for people that doesn't exist already. And until you do that, you're not doing anything for them. Product, your service, all of it has to fill a void, has to solve a problem. And that's the only way it's going to be sustainable.
Yeah, well, I think it's a good lesson, that you can have something beyond bigger than your company or bigger than just the goal of making money, and that actually can end up being more profitable for you. You talked about referring that our loan isn't the right product for a lot of the people that come to us, and how you refer them and do a warm introduction to the right solution as often as we can. Could you share any other examples that you can think of about how being purpose-driven, makes us a little different or makes the way we approach decisions a little different at Mobilization Funding?
Well, I think one of the things that being purpose-driven helps us is regarding just our charitable donations and what we do with ourselves and the team. I mean, we pick a charity that's either local to us or at least in the state of Florida in our community every quarter. It's tied to our own One More weekly events that we help sponsor amongst each other for recognition. And then at the end of the quarter, we donate that money to the charity that we choose. And then we choose a new one each quarter. So I think that's one way. If I'm understanding your question correctly, as it relates to how does it impact decisions, our core values and our purpose, they go hand in hand. So if the purpose is to help people and you have a set of core values that really guide your behavioral decisions, the decision that you should make is really easy.
Mm-hmm.
What's hard typically all of us as humans, and I'm not any different, is to make sure you make the right one. You don't let that other part of your brain start to rationalize something. Oh, it's okay if I don't, or it's okay if I do. I mean, you know the decision. I mean, most times you know what the decision is. And in business, it's pretty easy to figure out. Now, if we're coming up with something creative, or which strategy do we implement, and you're obviously doing the right thing, and your intent is good and you have great integrity, then you try to make sure of which ones you can do the most. What ties the best to what you can do, and can you sustain it? And then we look at, what is your purpose, and does it meet our core values, and is our customer going to have a problem solved that they currently have a problem, and are we going to be able to solve it?
Mhm.
Or can we make something that they're doing now better by a tweak? And then that's really how the decision drives it. But I think it always starts with, are you going to help someone? And if you are you doing it based off of your core values? And if those two things are met, those two criteria get met, then the rest of the decision tree is pretty simple. And you're just choosing which methodology you're going to try to interact with.
This was really fun. I really enjoy these. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be stuck at home, but I hope we get to do a few more before I'm back in the office.
I think you did a good job touching on the topic.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was great. That was awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have questions or you'd like to learn more about us, you can visit us at mobilizationfunding.com. I hope you subscribe to our channel so you can get more videos like this. And I hope you all have a great day. Be well. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you. Bye, Autumn. See ya.